The glass was brimming when she lifted it. It wasn't the splash that cut the deepest. It was the pause before, the deliberate hold of her gaze, the curl of her lips into something private, cruel. Then the wine tipped, slow, merciless. Cold slid over my scalp, then warmed against my neck. Her sisters shrieked. Friends pounded the table, laughter spilling like the drink. I didn't flinch, didn't ask why, just dabbed my face with a napkin and stood. The air seemed to close in as I walked out, the laughter snapping at my heels. Outside, the night was still. I stood at the gate, breathing. 10 minutes passed. The latch clicked. Footsteps. 3 men in black suits stepped inside. No knock. No words. Their movements were measured, precise. They headed straight for the living room. I followed. Her laughter collapsed the moment she saw them. One man set a blindfold on the table. The others flanked him. I remained standing. Her friends shifted. One sister looked away. She forced a smile, but her fingers tapped against her glass. She knew. 2 weeks earlier, I'd found the first fracture, a lipstick-smeared receipt for a dinner I never attended, with handwriting on the back that wasn't mine. I told myself it was nothing, a lie I needed to keep breathing. But the signs multiplied, late nights, early mornings, shower running before a kiss, deleted messages, a name I shouldn't have heard in our bedroom. I didn't confront. I observed, learned her patterns, the calls on the balcony, the voice she used with numbers she didn't save. I called in a favor, quiet men. They tracked her, documented her stops, her company, her touch. A week later, they brought me photos, her hand in his, bodies close enough to erase space. I waited. She grew careless, mistaking my silence for blindness. The wine on my head was her final test. She thought I failed. The man opened the folder. Photographs, timestamps, transactions, hotel receipts. Her hands stilled. Her friends recoiled. I slid the folder toward her. Pages turned. Color drained. "You planned this," she whispered. I tilted my head. Not a nod. Not a denial. Her eyes searched for rescue. None came. I lifted the wine glass from her hand and set it down. "I thought you should know," I said softly, "what it feels like when an audience laughs at you." Her breathing sped. She glanced at the men. "Please." I turned to her friends. "You laughed when she humiliated me. Laugh now." Silence. A final sheet hit the table, a recent paternity test. The result wasn't mine. Her lips trembled. "I can." I leaned in just enough for her to feel the weight of my calm. "You won't." I left the folder on the table and walked to the door. The night air was cooler. Somewhere behind me, she began to cry, the kind of sound that once would have broken me. Not now. Pain had dulled into something clean. At the gate, I no longer cared if she begged or shattered. That was no longer my burden. I stepped into the street. The house was just another structure now. She was just another stranger who once knew my name.